This is Ira, and welcome to Ocean Liners on Print, where we travel through ocean liner history via my collection of ocean liner memorabilia. In this video, we will venture into the futuristic Oceanic of the home lines, which entered service in 1965. For its time, the Oceanic was a radical departure from the conventional. The exterior of the ship was so ahead of its time that even towards the mid 1980s it remained fresh, certainly not dated. The Oceanic's designers foresaw the future so well, resulting in the ship remaining in service for 47 years. Such design was the reason that any time the ship was up for sale, it was sold immediately and served the home lines, Premier Cruise Lines, Pullman Tour, and Peace Boat. Let's get our ticket ready as we have a cruise to catch on the Oceanic.
Just take a look at the Oceanic, a sleek, racy design. One of the earliest ships not to have lifeboats positioned on the top deck. One of the earliest ships to sport a rear funnel. You see that glass dome over the swimming pools? That's the Magrodome. This glass dome retracts so the pool area is outdoors during good weather. When the dome closes, the area is protected during bad weather. As the Oceanic was based out of New York and sailing to Nassau all year round, this Magrodome by itself gave the Oceanic an exclusive competitive advantage till 1971, when the Sea Venture and Island Venture of flagship cruises had a sliding dome over its pool area. I have an appreciation for the benefit of the Magrodome because I sailed with my parents on winter cruises from New York to the Bahamas and Caribbean on the Olympia, the Homera, and the Sagafjord. For the first full day and last full day of the cruise, it would be too cold to use the outdoor pool and pool deck. You wouldn't have that problem if you sailed in the Oceanic with its Magrodome. By the way, does anyone know why the Sea Venture became one of the most famous of all cruise ships in history? Put your comments below in the comments section. So, let's start with the sun deck. We have an outdoor lounge area, and as we proceed forward, we will be coming up to the famous Magrodome as seen here. The next note of interest is the gem. Check out the retro equipment. We have the mechanical horse and then the belt that shakes around your body. I don't know how beneficial that is to one's health. Then the penthouse suites with private balconies and each having 2 private bathrooms. Private balconies. In this department, the Oceanic was nearly 35 years ahead of balcony mania, which has spread through the entire cruise industry. Balcony mania started in the very late 1990s to early 2000s. And here we have a ship that started adopting that trend in 1965. On the Lido deck, the Montmartre Club for dancing to live music. The Funorama Room for the oldest looking teenagers I ever saw. Look at the view of the pool area as outdoor or enclosed by the Magrodome. The layout of the pool area is inviting just by looking at the deck plan. The layout combined with the Magrodome was a winning combination. Then we have the Eden Rock Lounge, followed by the Escoffier Room. And now onto the Belvedere deck. We start off with the Caribbean Garden, where one can partake in dance instruction. The wonderful playroom for children. Cabins, including Cabin Deluxe with sitting room. More cabins. beauty parlor, more cabins. The Riviera deck. In the outdoor section of the aft part of the Riviera deck is where one can do trap shooting. Trap shooting is when a mechanical device hurls a clay pigeon over the side of the ship up into the air, and you have to shoot the clay pigeon down with a live rifle. So as we go inside on the Riviera deck, from the aft moving forward, we have the European Observation Lounge, the Scow Bar, card room, writing room, the Aegean Lounge. The lounge being touted as one of the largest rooms afloat. Another writing room, just taking our time exploring the public rooms of the Riviera deck. The Mayfair Bar. Finally, the Italian Hall Lounge. Let's move on to the Continental deck. Staterooms. And here we have an example of a super comfort stateroom that converts to a living room. And just as a reminder, another innovation of the Oceanic was that all staterooms have private shower and bath. The Oceanic was definitely one of the very first ships to offer this feature. Beauty parlor and barbershop. A dedicated full-time chapel, followed by more staterooms. On the restaurant deck, we have staterooms, and of course the Oceanic restaurant, which was the main food venue. Yes, you did have buffets, but once again, this is not like today where you have all these themed specialty alternative dining options. We're finally approaching the Oceanic dining room, the main dining venue on the ship. And here we have the layout, followed by an actual picture of the inside of the Oceanic dining room. On the Atlantic deck, this deck was primarily composed of staterooms, and then the main entry foyer with purser's office. This foyer is where passengers would either embark or disembark. Let's proceed to the Oceanic deck. On the Oceanic deck, we have staterooms. And here is a typical stateroom. Just like all the other staterooms, with its own private shower and bath. We will now head towards the forward section of the Oceanic deck, once again composed primarily of staterooms. And then we have the twin-level cinema. Few ships of the day, and the same could go for today as well, however, had a cinema with 2 levels. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the Oceanic. So let's go to 1970, where my father and I have the Oceanic in the background. Another shot of this beautiful ship from the same day, competing with the white 1960 Cadillac with fins towards the right. In 1985, the Oceanic was sold to Premier Cruise Line and was part of the Big Red Boat fleet and named Starship Oceanic with yours truly in 1988, and this was in Nassau in the Bahamas. The Big Red Boat fleet, which the Oceanic was the inspiration for the inception of the Disney Cruise Line, as the Big Red Boat started as a Disney-themed cruise combined with a Disneyland vacation. Here is a view of a ship called the Dolphin with the Oceanic behind it. Here is a brochure of the Big Red Boat featuring the Starship Oceanic on the front cover. And in the brochure, they were still touting the Magrodome and the pool area, still fresh after 30 years. The Starship Oceanic was renamed Big Red Boat 1, and then it was transferred to Pullman Tour, and then Peace Boat, and was taken out of service in 2012 and scrapped that year.
So, why did the Sea Venture become one of the most famous cruise ships in history? In 1975, Princess Cruises bought the Sea Venture to rename it the Pacific Princess. I'm sure that rings a bell. In 1977, the Pacific Princess debuted on the Love Boat TV show, and the rest is history. So what was your favorite part of the Oceanic? The two-level cinema, the Magrodome, Funorama teen room designed exclusively for 40-year-old looking teenagers, the Big Red Boat, all staterooms with private toilet and shower, penthouse suites with balconies and 2 bathrooms, a dedicated chapel. Please place your comments in the comments section below. Also, hit the subscribe button to receive alerts of new, engaging ocean liner content. Thank you from Ocean Liners on Print.